Hello and welcome back to F1 22 Driver Career Mode. My name is Chris and this week we're off to Miami. Now last time in Italy we had a bit of a mare, let's be honest about it. We had an engine failure in the sprint race and then we managed to not replace that engine for the start of the main race, and so we had to retire out of that one too. So a weekend to forget, but is what it is. So here are our results for the season. Not looking great, to be honest. We were on for probably a P5, P6 I think in Saudi at the beginning. Engine failure again. Got a good result in I don't even remember where it was now, but Australia. But yeah, it's not been the best start, shall we say. So we're changing our components and of course looking for some upgrades. We're going to upgrade the MG UK, just a minor upgrade on this one. We've also got some turbo durability, having been bitten a little bit. But with all that said, let's head to Miami for what will be our first ever lap round here, and it will be in a supercar. So let's see what's involved here. Here we are then. Autocross is the game. So we have to drive through all the gates, not hit any, not miss any, and all do that within 1 minute and 25 seconds. Off we go then in the McLaren Artura. Tricky one this, especially around Miami where the circuit's tight anyway. Add these gates, or a little bit of a slide, and off we go down the main straight. This is more tricky than it looks because you think, oh, it's just the straight, but no, the gates are here, there and everywhere. So we do manage to get it done, but we just about get ourselves a silver. That'll do, better than nothing. And with all that done, we went to practice. We got ourselves a nice haul of resource points for our upgrades, and yeah, onwards we go. And here we are then in qualifying, trying our best to set a decent lap time. This is a really tricky circuit, is the Miami circuit. It's full of a mixture of high speed, mid speed, low speed, like this silly section here. So setting the car up for this was a real challenge, and it's not something I think we nailed, to be honest with you. But yeah, we're seeing what we can do as we approach the final corner. This also is deceptively tight. You think in your mind, oh, it's a 90 degree, but it's a lot more than that. So yeah, tricky lap this one as we head towards the finish line for our first flying lap. P2 for now, that's not at all bad, but a good 3/10 off Verstappen. And as we head towards the end of the session, we just about make it through into Q2. So that's good. It means, you know, we weren't completely slow, but we were definitely slower, a lot slower than our teammate. A good 6/10 there. So we need to keep an eye on that, and obviously see what we can do as we head into Q2. Currently sat in P15 as we head around the final corner on the power. What'll it be? Looking like it's going to rain. P2 again, so will we stay there? Probably not, but it's a good sign. And here we are then. We didn't stay there. We went all the way down to P9. However, we're just about on pace with Esteban, so I'm happy with that. It means we also get into Q3, which is something I was not expecting at all this weekend. So yeah, let's see what happens in Q3. It's been raining. Not ideal, especially around a track we don't have a lot of experience with, but it also could even up the field. So let's head out onto the track and see what we can do with this car in the rain. It's definitely not set up for it. And here we are. Coming up to start the lap, I believe. Yep. Here we go then. Tricky circuit in the dry, this one. Even trickier when the rain comes down. Gently easing it through. Oh, a bit of a slide out the last corner. And up towards the line. What's it going to be? Are we going to get ourselves a decent start? No. P10 is where we're going to stay, unfortunately. And we've got underbody damage, so we don't have time to go back out and improve. So it's going to be a P10 for us for the Miami Grand Prix. Max Verstappen, though, on pole position. Carlos Sainz not too far behind in the Ferrari, and the two Mercedes looking pretty strong, beating out Sergio Perez. Valtteri Bottas is just behind our teammate Esteban Ocon. Yuki Tsunoda in that AlphaTauri seems to be doing very well in the last couple of races. Ups himself into P8, and Mick Schumacher starts from 9th.
Welcome to the Magic City. We're here at the Miami International Autodrome, the home of the Hard Rock Stadium, a multi-purpose sports and entertainment hub which has hosted Super Bowls, Baseball World Series, numerous rock concerts, and now, for the first time, Formula One. A lap of the Miami Grand Prix features 3.36 miles of track around the Hard Rock Stadium, and 19 corners make up the Miami International Autodrome, which will challenge the drivers in a tight wheel-to-wheel race. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and a very happy Carlos Sainz will start second. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Hamilton, Sergio Perez and Ocon, Bottas, Tsunoda, Mick Schumacher and Marshall, Gasly, Leclerc, Lando Norris and Vettel, Albon, Ricciardo, Guan Yu Zhou and Kevin Magnussen, Stroll and Nicolas Latifi. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
Well, let's find out, shall we?
The formation lap gets underway and every driver will be looking to settle in for the race ahead, making sure that their car is ready for the battle once the lights go out.
Here we go then, pulling up to the line. I'm starting to wonder whether I should be doing the manual formation lap, to be honest, because I've had some issues with race starts and I don't know if the AI warm up the tyres properly, so maybe we'll try that in future episodes, but we're waiting for the 5 red lights to go on then at Miami. And we're underway for the Miami Grand Prix. A terrible start, like I said, really struggling to get off the line we are, but blimey, Vettel, Leclerc and Gasly just absolutely hound us off the start. I wonder what happened to Leclerc. Must have taken a grid penalty being all the way back there. I think it started in 12th, but looks like we've managed to claw our way back up the order into the first corner, so that's a positive. Looks like everybody's starting on medium tyres here, and will be probably a one stop onto the hards, which is a shame about this game because without that Q2 tyre rule, the strategy's just the same everywhere. I really wish we could mix it up a bit, but here's what it is. We've managed to hold on to P10 into the first lap, as our engineer is just telling us. Look at that. Haas on AlphaTauri. I'm not sure which is which. I think it might be Magnussen on Schumacher. But we're getting absolutely hounded here. Look at that. Vettel's going through. Looks like Gasly's going to have a go as well. This is a really tricky circuit at the best of times, let alone when you're at a raced start. So, yeah, it's not the best start, but we can be hopeful that maybe we can make up some places. We've generally got decent straight line speed in the Alpine, but obviously the AI in 22 have just got godlike AS straight line speed, and this has got a very long straight in it, so fingers crossed we can keep pace then as we come around to complete the first lap. Sebastian Vettel's made his way up into the top 10, as has Yuki Tsunoda. Oh, sorry, Yuki Tsunoda was in the top 10 already, standing himself down in P9. Mick Schumacher making his way up the places.
This lap, you can use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
On to lap 3 then, of course we get DRS now. You can see also in the bottom right corner we've got some sort of engine issue, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that. Something's worn, hopefully not too worn, but yeah, we'll see of course. And it looks like Charles Leclerc is going to claim back 11th place as he works his way through the field. We're not even going to fight that because it's not our race. That Ferrari has got way more pace than we have. Mark thinks differently though. He thinks we should try and pressurise him into a mistake. But as you can see, as you join us on lap 4, Leclerc's already past Vettel. So we just want to keep with Vettel, maybe fight Vettel for that P11. Hopefully as well make our way up into the points later on in the Grand Prix. But for now, it's just a case of keeping clean, getting the good laps in, and getting more and more familiar with this circuit. But here we go then. Looks like we're going to make a move up the inside on Sebastian Vettel. We do make a move up the inside, and it looks like we may have got that one done. However, probably not the smartest place to overtake against these AI, because as we head through this section here, Vettel's going to get a huge helping of DRS down this main straight, or back straight, and we haven't got DRS, so maybe not tactically the best move, but it was a good overtake nonetheless as we head down the main straight, back straight. I keep calling it the main straight, it's the biggest one, but hey ho. Vettel has got DRS, look at that, closing in, 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 1 tenth, I don't know what I'm saying here. Can't count. And we just don't brake hard enough, and through he goes. So we did not make that difficult for him, but we will get DRS here along the main straight up to the first corner. Can we dive down the inside? Let's have a look. We pull to the inside, and up we go. Down the inside, Vettel's locked up. That's going to invite Yuki Tsunoda to come through as well. Lovely stuff there. That was a good move. We got that done.
Nice move. Good job.
Mark's happy with that one as well. A couple of laps on then, you'll see. We're running out of fuel. We under-fueled slightly. We could save some fuel, but... yeah. I say we under-fueled. We did 29.5 laps. Normally, that's plenty, but around this track it seems like the fuel consumption of this Alpine is not great, so we're going to have to watch that as the Grand Prix goes on, and perhaps later on do some fuel saving. We can hope, of course. Oh no, Sebastian Vettel. I didn't even notice that. If you look on the mini-map, there's yellow flags down there in sector 2. Sebastian Vettel is out of the Grand Prix, so our potential rival for this race has had his race ended, but we've just not braked there properly, I think. So I'm not sure what the heck. Let's have another look at that. I was too busy looking, I think, at the fuel level, and I just completely missed my braking point and just went straight on. So now Gasly's back in the mix, and we've completely lost any gap we had, which was about 3 seconds, I think. So not ideal as we head into lap 10. This is a really tricky race for us so far. It's not quite gone the way we would have hoped, has it? So we do manage to pull back out a bit of a gap on Gasly, but it's not the best, and I'm really struggling for grip at this point. The mediums don't seem to be holding up too well, but of course it's a little bit too soon to go onto a hard tyre. So you can see the train behind us. There's us at the head of this pack, and then there's another little pack, and then there's the front runners. So it's it's a weird one, this one. We don't seem to have very good pace. This corner here, I just couldn't get my head around it.
You're going to start losing some tyre grip any time now, and gap to the car in front is 8.3 seconds.
Yeah, that double apex sort of corner before the back sort of DRS zone is a really tricky one. I just couldn't quite nail it. Sometimes I would, sometimes I wouldn't, and it didn't feel consistent. But we've gone round, and that's a yellow flag in sector 1, of course. And we've had a crash. Who was that? Was that Magnussen? Gasly? Interesting. I'd like to have another look at that. But as I was saying about the grip, we just got up on the curb ever so slightly, and round we went. A nice 360. Everybody managed to avoid us, but not the Haas. And so for some reason we got the penalty for a collision with Gasly, even though we didn't touch Gasly. So yeah, that was a weird one. That was definitely Magnussen that slammed into the back of us there, and of course he's now got damage, which might be our saving grace here, because we can try and catch up to him, but we've got a 5-second penalty to serve, so even if we do, that's really going to knock us back down the order as we absolutely get our elbows out past Stroll. We're round again! Like I was saying, the medium's really just struggling for grip here, and now all the way down at the back, 18th position, and Latifi just decided to stop and let us go. Strange, but yeah, tricky one, this one so far. So in we are then into the pit lane. We're going to jump onto the hard tyre. Debatably a little bit early, to be honest. We're not. We're going to go soft. Okay, that means we're definitely on a 2-stop then, and we serve our 5-second penalty for that collision with Gasly. Not too happy about that, but soft tyres on. Let's see what we can do here. Not a great pit stop, 2.9 seconds. Could have been worse though, so yeah, out we go on the soft tyre. Of course, we do need to keep an eye on that fuel level, but even with the softs, we don't seem to have the pace anymore. We've just, I don't know what's happened here. We're just really struggling to catch up to anybody. But here we are on lap 15, having a look at Sergio Perez, who is closing in slightly on the 2 front runners of Carlos Sainz and George Russell, but he's going slow. He's slowed right down. Max Verstappen is going to get past him with no issue. Yellow flags have been waved. It looks like Checo is retiring. That's unfortunate. Back on board with us then, which is what you all want to see, I'm sure. We are struggling, let me tell you. The softs, obviously, it was a bad call. They don't last very long. We've been on them for a couple of laps now, and yeah, You're not feeling great, but we had to do something because we'd ruined our race. So we're now 11 seconds back to Latifi, and we're coming in. We're saying sod the hards. We're going to put the sod the softs, put the hard tyres on, I think, and go to the end. So yeah, a wasted stint, I would say, complete waste of time. We've really probably ended our race with this one. We've got 10 laps to go. If we had a set of mediums, which I wonder, we probably did have a set of mediums. In hindsight, we should have probably put the mediums on, but yeah, this is how our race has gone. We're about to get lapped by one of the front runners, so yeah, another weekend to forget. We started off the season so strong, even with that durability issue, because we nearly plough into the back of Perez, and it's really taken a turn into Imola with the engine failure, and then the team forgetting to change the engine, and then this race here in Miami, we qualified so well, but the race pace just hasn't been there, and yeah, I was really struggling. So as we come round then, Carlos Sainz wins the Grand Prix. We nearly bin it into the wall on what will be our last lap because we've got lapped, and it's going to be a P18 for us, and only a P18 because of Vettel and Perez.
Right,
Retired.
Take care of the car on the way in.
Not a Grand Prix that we'll be remembering in a hurry. Charles Leclerc, rightfully so, gets driver of the day, made his way quite the way up the pack, having taken that engine penalty.
Ferrari into Parc Fermé after a fantastic race.
Yeah, that was a tricky one.
Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
Ferrari are at it again. An excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there.
Yes, they are. That is another Grand Prix and another weekend that we will want to forget here at Alpine. What a mess. I really struggled in that race. I don't know why. I felt like we had a decent handle on the lap in qualifying and practice, but it just didn't come together in the race. So we'll move on to the next one, and the next one I believe is Spain, a track that we generally do okay at. So we'll be hoping to sort of turn it around in Spain and get back in the points and start scoring again. So yeah, tricky one for us, but it is what it is. At least Esteban scored some points. He got himself a nice 8 points in 6th. Carlos Sainz, though, the winner of that Grand Prix, absolutely bossed it. And George Russell in the Mercedes in 2nd. Max Verstappen in 3rd. I wonder if he got jumped at the start. I think he must have done, because he was on pole, and he just didn't convert that into a win. So it's unfortunate, but yeah. We came down in P18 at the end and scored nothing. So now Esteban is beating us in the drivers. Charles Leclerc still at the top, but only by 3 points. This could swing in the favour of Carlos Sainz pretty soon. And of course, Max Verstappen only 19 points away. He just needs a race win and Charles to have a bad weekend, and he could be up there as well. So an interesting championship. It's nice to see the Mercedes drivers getting up there, and we just about have held on to our 4th position in the Constructors. 4th is what we're aiming for this season, so we're just going to keep pushing and hopefully keep it all together as the races go on and as the season unfolds. Next race, like I said, in Spain. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, leave us a little comment, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you for the next one. I upload every Wednesday and Sunday. Bye.